The Trump administration is particularly cracking down on Chinese students. This as US is all set to aggressively revoke visas of Chinese students, especially those students with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or those Chinese studying in critical fields. What's that? It means students working in areas like semiconductors, engineering or aerospace. Remember, these are areas where the US and China are technological rivals. In fact, the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced a shock move in a post on X, also in a State Department statement. The statement is interestingly titled, "New Visa Policies Put America First, Not China." Rubio has added that the State Department was revising visa criteria to enhance scrutiny of all future applications from China. And that also includes Hong Kong. Remember, China is also at the epicenter of Trump's global trade war. And now, the decision to cancel Chinese student visas comes despite a recent pause in the US-China trade dispute. That means 3 lakh Chinese students in the US now face a sudden limbo. Why is that a huge hit to Beijing? Because China is the second largest country of origin for international students in the US. Chinese students made up roughly a quarter of all foreign students in the US. That figure stood at 270,000 in total during the 2023 to 24 school year. But China is behind India because Indian students are now the largest international cohort on US campuses. According to the US Embassy in 2024, India became the top source of international students for the first time since 2008 to 2009. According to the embassy, over 331,000 students were studying in the US, a figure overtaking China. But will Indian students in US be as impacted as Chinese students? Because both India and China remain dominant in international student numbers, what differentiates the two is their contribution to the US economy. Because majority of Chinese students like to return to their homeland, unlike Indian students who like to stay in the West. So why do most Chinese international students often return home? Only to serve their country. This due to a combination of factors, and that includes family ties, a desire to contribute to China's development, and attractive career opportunities and prospects at home. So far, China's strong economic growth along with strategic government policies and investments in research have also played a significant role. And here's how Indian students are different. They choose to stay and work for American and European companies. After all, US is home to several global giants like McKinsey, Google, Amazon, Apple, IBM, Microsoft, and many others. So much so, optional practical training allows F1 visa students to work in the US in their major area of study. In fact, for students who graduate in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, commonly known as STEM fields, there's an additional benefit. They can apply for a 24-month extension to their post-completion OPT. And that explains why US boasts of several prominent Indian origin individuals holding CEO positions at major US companies. Key figures include Sundar Pichai at Alphabet Google, Satya Nadella of Microsoft, Shantanu Narayan of Adobe, Arvind Krishna, CEO of IBM, and Ajay Banga, CEO of the World Bank Group. So, will India benefit from the latest US visa crackdown on Chinese students? In short, the answer is yes. In the past too, the Trump administration has strictly maintained that any foreign student who undermines national interest, national security, and foreign policy, then they would be denied visa or deported. And that's a direct reference to criticism of the US government and its ally Israel. China's CCP has been blamed for fomenting an anti-American narrative. Also, it's a Chinese Communist Party-linked network that's being blamed for the well-funded anti-Israel campus protests in US. But none of these accusations apply to Indian students, many of whom have thrived in America's capitalist economy. So, finally, when the dust settles on Trump's immigration crackdown, perhaps Indian students may just have reasons to smile.